Good afternoon and welcome to this week's version of Techy Tuesday. Again, I'm going to keep on the track that we've been on the past few weeks, going over some tips and tricks for Schoology. So the first week we learned how to link accounts. Last week we learned how to find deleted items, whether they were in our course or in our resources. And today we're going to talk about finding our archived classes and finding that information from past years that we may have lost or think that we don't have access to, but we still do. So to do that, in Schoology, if you go to courses and go to my courses. Now this is interesting because you only see your first 16 courses. Now if you have more classes than this, and this will happen with students sometimes when they're added to groups and things, you will go to my courses. Then when I go to my courses, I see a full list of courses available to me in Schoology. So I have a lot more courses here than showed up on that first landing page. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about finding our archived courses. So now that I'm in my course, in my Schoology, I went to my courses, I see my full list. Now I'll notice there is a button that says archived. I'm going to click this archive button, and then I will have access to my archived courses within Schoology. Now that I have selected archived, I have my whole list of archived courses. Now to access these courses, I can click on the section underneath to access that course. Now I will see all the information I had posted in that course previously. Now, there are a few things I can do if, say, I wanted all this material for a new course that I'm teaching. I could go to options and I could save the course to resources, or I could save individual items like folders to resources or actual individual singular items to resources. When we do this, it allows us to pull in items back into our class from our resources in our new classes. So I could go to a current course that I have, and once I have saved items to my resources, I can select add materials, and then I can import them from resources. So anything I saved from a previous class, so these are my personal, these are my home resources, this is all the stuff I've saved in my resources from my other classes, I can either pull over a whole folder, or I can pull over the individual items or quizzes. This is great for restore at the end of the year doing, but also if you have things that maybe you teach first semester and you duplicate it second semester because you teach a semester class. This is helpful. Also, one thing to note about your courses that we found in my courses and went under archived courses. Once I go to those archived courses, I can also go back and view things from the previous year that maybe students had done. So say you have a class and there's a grade in question in the next year. I could simply go to the grade book for that class and see all the grades from each grading period that were there. Now you'll notice in this one it doesn't have anything because the grading periods aren't there. So there's nothing there because the teacher archived all the materials. So that's kind of iffy with that. When you unpublish things, then it's no longer there in your grade book. Just some things to note. But this is great for getting those resources and pulling them over to your next class. I hope this information helps and you have a great Techy Tuesday.